Thanks very much, Chairman. On the issue of appeals, we are busy consolidating the appeals. You see, sometimes there will be a duplication because others will send direct to my email, others will send to my PA, others will send to the office. So there will be a duplication. What we can confirm now is that we have received about 80 appeals. 30. We got 6 from head office yesterday. Those who sent it to head office and it was returned to PPC. So that's what we got. So any other appeals and any pronouncement about appeals, we can only talk about appeals that have been done for. By the way, we went to court. We were told there were about 260 branches that were appealing. But when we were perusing what was before the court, it was only 29. The fact now. So people will make their numbers, but in actual facts, when it comes to to be factual, numbers won't match with what has been pronounced. So on the issue of unity, yes, we are saying others because it's only for people who took us to court. We are talking what is before the court. We don't talk about other issues. So then it's individual for individuals that are before the court. So, but on the issue of unit, yes, talks are continuing. There was an attempt to continue with the discussions last Monday. Other comrades indicated that others were not in the country, who were part of the team, then that meeting had to be postponed. So as far as we are concerned, in terms of the briefing that we're getting, there has been some discussions. There are issues. In their first meeting, they raised a number of issues that needed to be, which they said it forms basis for discussion. Those are the issues that they'll be discussing now because they've agreed that these are the issues that need to be discussed. On the issue of the BGMs and a resolution, so nothing has been communicated to us formally on the National Resolution, National Appeals Committee, and we can't comment on that one. We know that there is a team that has been established by the PwC that will be working on the appeals that are here now. So I don't want to comment on what we are hearing. We communicate officially. The organization will communicate with us officially if there is a decision. On the issue of update on nomination, you were lucky you were given an update by other comrades. I won't do that. As the Provincial Secretary, I can't do that. I can't say who's leading, who's not leading. It is the PGC that will give you numbers. So what we can tell you that we have held more than 60% successful BGMs. The issue of 132, the BGM has not been convened as yet. There are organizational and political issues that the organization is still busy with. When we are ready, then they will request the branch for a BGM. but where he is voting, where she's voting and she resides at Palito, yes, they've nominated her. Happy that they launched that one, because it will assist in terms of moving faster. On the issue of disputes, are we concerned? Not at all. We said to you on last week on Thursday, I think it was Thursday, that we have received about 7 appeals. There were a number of PGMs that occurred during the weekend. Now we're sitting at 30. Look at the number and 30. In fact, we are encouraging those who might have concern, so that we process things. Right? If you are having a concern, okay, launch an appeal. There is, even in our training of when we were training branches and members on the guidelines for the 54th National Conference, they were also taken through those processes. When to launch an appeal, because there are specific timelines there. Where to launch the appeal, it's clear in the guidelines. So if you decide to, undermine the guidelines, then it's your own issue. So, but everybody was trained, or all our branches were trained in terms of guidelines and how to process the guidelines. Hence, we are dealing with the appeals, because they are there in terms of our guidelines, in terms of the processes of the ANC. So we can't be concerned about something that is there that we need to deal with. Again, the issue that keeps on coming, the issue of the appeals team, I won't respond to that, because I'll only deal with something that has been communicated to us formally. PEC members being elected in branches, I think it's relating to both of us. He's delegate number 1, I'm delegate number 1. You see, let me explain to you. In terms of the allocations, the constitution of the ANC says 90% of the delegates must come from branches. Then 10% will be shared amongst the leadership. That will be in NEC, PEC, leagues. So the space is very limited there. So usually you get an allocation as a PEC. So we got more than about 39 PEC elected PEC members. So now we know for a fact that it has never happened in the history of the ANC that the PEC will be allocated more than 20 members. What do you do with the rest? So, you see, the ANC constitution, it says a member of the ANC can elect and can be elected as a delegate. So we used our constitutional right, and our branches used their constitutional right to elect some of the PEC members to be delegates, so as to allow space for others who might not be elected to go as, to be part of the PEC allocation. So there's nothing wrong with that. So why should you be worried if a member of the ANC is elected as a delegate in a particular branch? Why should you be worried?
So people will not bother no chairperson.
Pardon?
So they will not bother no chairperson of branch then, so they only.
The constitution of the ANC doesn't say the branch chairperson or the secretary must be elected. It says member, any member of the ANC. There are branches that have elected an ordinary member of the ANC. Any member of the ANC can be elected as a delegate, not chairperson and secretaries. Will we be having any standoff rally? Stand off, sorry, stand off, okay. Sorry, yes. No, there's no sign. No, we were presenting the program of the ANC to the PEC. There's no problem. There was no such problem. The ANC Women's League came and briefed me yesterday about their program. Maybe you'll hear about the rally. In terms of their plans, they are planning to have a rally, provincial rally as the ANC Women's League, not ACPs. On the issue of dates, we are still communicating with the league. So, on the issues related to specific wards, be it Tegwini, what 2?
32.
What 32? Then what 5 of Rengonyin. As I've said, all members of the ANC and branches were taken through the guidelines of the ANC. If there is an issue with a specific BGM, they know what to do. They will deal with it organizationally through that process. So that's all what I can say in those branches. I think I've responded to all questions.
Which ones are missing?
Why are you so comfortable with the fact that the NEC hasn't returned to the province while the other side seems agitated? Does it mean that you no longer have any issues that you believe need to be resolved ahead of the conference?
That return would have been a follow-up from which engagement?
On the ones that you had earlier last week with when the president came with the top 6, yes, the coastlands. So yes, where you were supposed to now come, they were supposed to come back and give a solution to the current problems, and just what they were saying that there seems to be a contradiction. Are you talking? Are you not talking? You guys appear to be very comfortable with the NEC not having returned to the province, while the other side is saying this has actually caused much of the chaos, as they described, at branch general meetings.
Okay, I saw another hand there. Yes.
Thank you. Nobala Nomusafungula from ANN7. I'm more concerned about what Eritu Nobala said. The matter has been deferred to the PEC. It's no longer in the hands of the region. Now, what I want to find out, Nobala, is that the structure was disbanded last year already, and the deadline for BGMs is looming. Isn't Nobala a bit concerned whether they are going to meet the deadline to actually sit for a BGM in that branch or not? And number 2, what has taken the ANC this long to resolve issues in that particular branch? Understanding that the task team was appointed or installed already last year in December. So till today, they haven't had an AGM where they are going to elect a structure. What has taken you that long? And what are some of the options that you have as the PEC to resolve the matters in what there is and make sure that you move forward in a united form as the ANC?
No, but mine is just, I really just want to follow up on what Hans was asking with regards to the legal teams. When the leagues had a press briefing, they told us, this was after the outcome of the ruling in Pietermaritzburg, they told us that the NEC had pulled its lawyers. That they had initially provided lawyers and the NEC had supposedly taken those lawyers. Now, what I'm also just trying to get, you are saying then about in the statement, the national legal teams, meaning are you now saying that the NEC has now reappointed a legal team to assist in this case after it had supposedly pulled lawyers out in the first place? I just want to get that. Then, secondly, just for my understanding, who is allowed to preside over the BGMs? The PEC members, if you would just tell me who's allowed to oversee the BGMs.
Firstly, the branch general meeting is presided over by the branch chairperson of the ANC. In an event where the chairperson is absent or for whatever circumstances he is not at the meeting or she is not at the meeting will be presided over by the next official according to the seniority. The deputy chair, the secretary, up to the last one. The role of a PEC or the member of the Regional Executive Committee is only as important insofar as branches that are doing both a BAGM and a BGM. A BAGM is a branch biannual general meeting in which you elect a branch executive committee. Because the chairperson can't preside over a process that must produce a leadership. So in that case, a leader in the Regional Executive Committee or a PEC, if there is no REC, which has not been a usual experience, that there will be no REC. In many cases, these branches are assisted by RECs in an event where they must also elect leadership. Once that process of electing leadership is concluded, the chairperson again takes over, the newly elected chairperson, and deal with the process towards the national conference. He and she or she is the one who says, let's now nominate for the National Executive Committee. As a deployee, you sit here to observe that things are done in accordance with our guidelines. And then comrades will raise names. The chair presides over that exercise. It will determine who's going to be their choice of president, deputy president, and the rest of the other officials, as well as the members of the National Executive Committee. At the end of that, then the branch must determine who becomes their delegate. The chair presides over that again, unless if the chair himself or herself is nominated. Then if the chair gets nominated, it's inevitable that he or she will be conflicted in the process. Then a leader from the higher structure must take over the process. But if the chair is saying, I'm not going to be a delegate, I'm not available for whatever reasons, that chairperson is permitted to proceed with the meeting, because that's a meeting of the branch. Our role is to bring the package and also to supervise the work of the branch in circumstances where there may be difficulties, either in interpreting the guidelines or else in dealing with challenges that are arising because of a divergence of views in the meeting of the ANC. Now the higher structure must come into to ensure that there is an appropriate way of handling those differences. We are not aware that the national officials have made a commitment to come back with a solution to the KZN problems. We are not aware that they are coming back with a solution to the problem of KZN. What we are aware of is that the officials met with the PEC. After meeting with the PEC, they met with the comrades who have taken the PEC to court. At the end of that process, they came back to say, both of you are agreeing that it is necessary to continue having an internal discussion to resolve problems facing the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. As national officials, they were clear from the onset that they can't be the ones who are going to invent and transport solutions from the head office to the province. They are a leadership that must help us to find a solution to the problems we're facing. That is why in the teams that are engaging on the unity talks in the province, there is no member of the NEC who sits on that. And that is the style of the NC. The NC doesn't encourage solutions that are not organic and arising from those who are involved in a conflict of one form or another. So as a PC, really, we do not have it in our official information that officials left and they must come back and bring a solution. And once they bring a solution, the matter will be laid to rest. Our understanding is that officials came to intervene. Part of the progress that intervention made was a commitment on all of us to continue engaging on the issues we're facing, which is what I think that was a successful effort. I mean, a successful intervention made by the National Executive Committee. So if there is a position that says we are all waiting for the NEC to come back with a solution, I really am not aware of that. I've never missed PEC meetings. I don't think there was ever a PEC meeting in Nepal where we were told that we are just waiting for the solution. Our understanding was that we must engage and report to the national leadership on progress. And if there are complications, we must go back to them and say, we need you to come back because we believe there are complications. As it stands, nobody was saying. Our own view is that processes are unfolding very well. We are discussing, of course, there is a court case that is pending, which at the time we made an undertaking to engage was something that we understood was going to happen. We started engaging knowing that the matter is in court, there's an appeal. We knew that there was a rumor of an application for execution, it became a reality. And all of those things have never detracted us from the commitment to engage. Because our view was that whatever difficulties, as the provincial secretary says in the statement of the PEC, whatever difficulties we're confronted with, but we've never lost hope in the ability of the ANC to engage and find solutions to its own problems.